G'day, I've just gotten back for Christmas holidays. A couple of days after I'd left for holidays, this happened. I had no idea what it was. I knew it was a big box. Luckily, I rang one of my patrons and he saved the day. And now I'm back, my mate's dropped it off. Let's have a look what's in the box. $14-gallon Conical fermenter. Excited? Yes. Let's get into it. Instructions. What looks like some seals and a piece of silicone hose. The lid is attached, even though it's attached upside down at the moment. Nicely finished and got a real nice weight to it. So the lid has a 4-inch port, that looks like an 1.5-inch port, and a pressure relief valve. There's another box down here. Let's have a close-up look. Seals. Looks like a foot. Some more feet, and that's the other one, it's 4 feet. Some of the tri-clamps. You'll notice there are some different sizes. That'd be 2-inch and a 1.5-inch. That's some sort of tap or spigot or whatever you want to call it. Port in there. I assume this would go on top. You'd use it like an airlock. You'd run a hose off down into a bucket of something. Sanitizer most likely. This looks like a thermo well. That is a thermo well. So you can put your temperature probe down through there. This is where things get a little crazy for these sort of size fermenters. That obviously is the valve for the bottom. You lock it like that. It's like a butterfly valve. And then it's open. Huge. That's a 2-inch port, that. Got the clamp. That's a 4-inch plate for the top, the hole in the top. This doesn't come with the pressure kit. You have to buy that separately. I could use the 4-inch top from my kegmenter, and that would be using the, I'd have to extend the floating pickup tube, but I could use that. Or of course you can buy pieces separately. And more of the seals. The main body was a lot lighter than expected, but that's a good thing. Otherwise it would just be too heavy. Let's have a closer look and get the parts attached. That's where the thermo well would go. There's your thermo well. Your sample port will go on here. It's a little bit of a funny angle, but you'd put a hose on it or something. Good idea to screw these right out before you start. And this is a little tricky to juggle while I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera and the lights and things. Now you'll notice it has got these teeth here, so you can peg it into a little bit open if for whatever purpose you're doing it. Can lock into the part, so something to be aware of to make sure you're fully closed or fully open. Just because it's locked in doesn't mean, you know, you are fully closed or fully open. I thought I might quickly show you some things. These are what I've got in the brewery. These aren't included, any of these things, but they're the sort of fittings you could buy. And there's a 2-inch elbow going into a 1.5-inch reducer. You could do something like that. You could remove the tap from there. There's all sorts of things you could do. I could extend it out. I could put the elbow on and extend it out and put a different sort of style of tap on, a smaller one, 1.5 inch, 2-inch. There's all sorts of things you could do. So I've got a 2-inch to a 1.5-inch reducer there and a 1.5-inch elbow. That would fit in there. You might have a different tap on there. I've got a fitting that can go on there that goes to a 1/2 inch normal, you know, thread. But if you're going to have a big dry hop and you're trying to empty the dry hops out, that might block. That's why a 2-inch is good for big dry hop. But if you're not worried about that, and you might just want to get your yeast out, then a 1/2 inch might do you, and you might be able to, you know, put on a normal ball valve or something, whatever you like. There's a fitting I use on my G40 for cleaning, because I've put a tri-clamp fitting on it down below, and you know, something like that. Just depends what you want to do. You can buy like the Fermenter yeast collection pot to fit there as well, if that's what you're after. There's the inside. It's all lovely and smooth. There's a couple of little marks where the handles are on and where the legs are on, but that's to be expected and nothing at all to worry about. There's some gallons and litres marking on the side. The top here is the highest mark. That's 44 litres. You wouldn't ferment that much in there. You'd probably get away with 40 litres. And that's nearly level with 11 gallons. So to install this, it's sort of rounded on all sides except for one. It's flat on this side, and you put that side, the flat side, down, and you'll find it's bigger. But if you've ever done things like this before, you'll realise that most of the time the seals are a bit bigger and you've got to squeeze them in to get a good seal. It can be tricky at first till you get the hang of it. There we go. Turn over without it falling out. That's the fitting there. So when you're locking it up, that slides over the top of there and you tighten it there. You want it all nice and flat. You don't want it all, you know, skew-if. Of course the camera tripod's in the way, but it shouldn't be too hard. And you just tighten that up. If you're not using it for pressure fermenting, you just use a flat end cap like that. And just a word about that before people roll their eyes and say, you know, pressure fermenting's a fad and all this, and you know, it's just for rushing things. It's not just for rushing things at all. Well, what it makes it easier to do is to transfer in place, and you're keeping oxygen out, and which is most important. But normally I'd have to pull this out of a fridge and shift it onto a higher bench to fill a keg. And with pressure transfer, it's just so much easier. Leave it in place. I don't have to move it till it's empty. So even for those people that don't like pressure fermenting, which I don't even like using that term, because I use pressure fermenters, or the fermenters that are usable for pressure fermenting, but I, you know, rarely fermented anything over a couple of psi, just to keep the oxygen out. And last but not least is your airlock. And that's why they gave you a little bit of silicone hose. That's your airlock. They can go into a bucket of sanitizer if you're going to use it, not using it under pressure, of course. You could also set up any sort of airlock you wanted up here. If you felt the need, you could you know, set up a S-lock or whatever type of 3-piece airlock if you really wanted to, if you didn't want to use this into a bucket of sanitizer. And also remember that if you're wanting to use this bottom port to dump or to something, that is a 2-inch port. It does open up gradually, you know, you can do that. But you're going to need, you know, we could just have a bucket there, I suppose, or you could fit in whatever fittings like I showed you before, some elbows or whatever to plumb it to wherever you like. That's very nice though. I might grab the a measuring tape and see how big it is. From the top of there to the bottom there, this is with the feet totally screwed in. It's about 95 centimetres, or 3'2". You're looking at, with the ports on the front there, you're looking at about 50 centimetres. And 50 centimetres is about 20 inches. And the legs on the bottom, the feet width is about 13 inches or 33 centimetres square. You can get different sizes. You can get a smaller one and a larger one. So that's it. Looks like a great unit, really well built, and I can't wait to use it. At the time of recording this video, my channel is still totally independent. I'm not sponsored by anybody, and I don't do paid reviews. This unit was supplied by Kegland, but all the thoughts and ideas in this video are mine and mine alone. 100% independent. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, and thanks to my Patreons. For without them, these videos couldn't continue. I'll see you in the next one.